Spoiler warnings for the latest chapter of One Piece. So if you haven't read it, like, favorite, and come back later because I'm telling you, this chapter goes crazy. One Piece chapter 1180, Omen. First, we gotta talk about this cover art. Oh my god. It was a reader request. Vagabond basically modifies Zeus to rain down cotton candy for my boy Chopper. This is one of the best cover arts I've seen in a while. Look how happy he is. Before I get into the chapter, gotta talk about Imu's design. Oh my god. Imu could still be a Lunarian. When I saw the first appearance of Imu, he didn't have wings. Later on in this chapter, he's flying around. Still could be, people are like, the flames not there, but look at the black flames on top of it. You know, just transfer to that. But the start of this chapter, we got Imu still on top of the tower, looking down like a king. Like he owned this spot. This is his spot. And he asks, who is the king of this land? And we get the full design of Imu, and oh my god, bro, he iced out. The design is 10 out of 10. Tori and Bragi basically yell out, there's no kings of this land. And Imu notices Summer. Summer yells out, the great one. I really thought in this moment Imu would be like, bro, Summer, you got smacked up by these people? And leave him hanging, but no. Imu pull up to the giant that was holding Summer and cuts her fingers off. Her fingers? And Imu always be speaking this old English. What are thee doing to Samot? Everybody is shook and confused on who this guy is, especially Chopper, when they just see this girl's fingers rotting down the floor. Zoro approaches Imu and asks if it was a god knight too. And then we can see Summer fully back together and he got his steel heart back. Haruden is pissed and rushes Imu. Even one of his boys is like, bro, I don't think that's a good idea. Imu looking unfazed. If that giant did not kick Haruden out the way, because he lost a leg, imagine when he would have got sliced up in half. Now, everyone could tell that Imu's on business now. Chopped up a girl's fingers, chopped this dude's foot off. Now Zoro's like, all right, I gotta lock in. He uses one of his strongest three-sword techniques, Onigiri. Imu just blocks it with her tail. Like it was nothing. This is his signature move. This is what he takes everybody down with. And you block it with your tail? Like, come on. And Imu has this black flame coming out of his palm. It looked like I thought he was about to flick him. You could tell Zoro knew something about to happen. The attack comes out of his palm. Zoro is sent flying. Chopper is shook because Zoro's top two strongest on the crew. Like, if Zoro gets flicked around like this so easily, ain't nobody got a chance, bro. Haruden didn't learn his lesson from the first time and still tries to attack Imu again. But this time, Imu pulls something out of the palm, turns like this demon bomb thing, and sends Haruden flying. Blows, like, how powerful was this technique, bro? Summer is fully back together now. And I think this is his first time ever seeing Imu in this form because he was confused what the black flames was. Imu even put a ring of black flames around Summer. He was like, yes, Omen. So I think this black flame probably increased his power level. And Imu tells Summer that they gotta hurry up. There's not enough time. I don't think Imu could be in this form for too long. Imu and Summer dip out in different directions. And Ja Rule basically goes on his transponder to tell everyone to get Zoro and any of the injured to safety. Also warns all of Elbaf about a being greater than the God Knight has landed on the island. Then we get to see the panel of Imu flying with his wings, looking like a Lunarian. But he got black wings, not white ones. See some of the giants freaking out about another strong being on the island. Then Imu notices Ganko in that frozen block of ice. Same attack that came out of his palm when he attacked Haruden comes out of the staff that he has. Most likely destroyed that block of ice that even Loki was like, it's unpenetrable. Then the scene cuts to Gabon, and even Gabon's like, bro, even on God Valley, I didn't feel a Haki this strong. Then the bottom panel, we get to see Loki and Luffy eating this frozen food to regain energy. Even Loki notices a Haki on the island because he was like, bro, we got to get our energy back so we can get going. Now we get to see Nami's group, and Usopp and Brook are still on the ground. Everyone has noticed this tremendous Haki that's on the island. Jinbei hints at what they're after, but then gets stopped at what he was about to say. We get to see the other God Knight saying Great One. The same ring that was around Summer is around him now. The Omen. Been thanking Imu for this. Sanji's like, who is this? As Imu lands, ring of Haki just disperses around him. Dude looks menacing. Jinbei's like, bro, he's dangerous, chill. Sanji rushes at his Imu and attacks with his, signature move, a leg attack. Imu blocks it and sends his own leg attack at Sanji and then sends that boy flying. Jinbei's confused about the black flames. Someone asks, what do you want with Elbaf? Imu replied, I'm searching for the killer of my faithful servant, Harold, who was slain 14 years ago. Like, damn, you don't forget anything. 14 years? I didn't even think you liked Harold like that. And Loki responds, he was not your servant. He was my father, the king of Elbaf. You get to see this panel. Oh my God. Loki standing in front of Imu. And he responds, the man you're looking for is me. Imu replied by saying, like, all this would have been avoided. Obviously, if King Harold didn't pass away that time. Loki also says, here in the real world, you deal with me and Elbaf, calling Imu a clown. What? What? Loki really liked that, bro. Bro, these chapters be going crazy. Lightning behind him. Loki really about to throw hands with Imu, bro.